Hello.
Hello.
What's up, everybody? It's Erin.
And Nicole. This is Dude That's Fucked Up.
Welcome to our podcast. What's up, everybody? Hope you're doing well. Welcome to another week in hell. We're your hosts here to take you through it.
Oh my gosh. But this week is fun.
It's fine. Yeah.
And dumb and stupid. And it's going to be so great. I honestly loved last week's episode so much.
Oh my God.
It was so fun. Lucille. Wow.
A treat.
What a treat.
Yeah, this week is, I think, really dumb and fun. I think we're going to have a good time with it. We'll get to that momentarily. Any biz for the week?
No, just a note to you and I, but everybody else can hear it too. Our 4-year anniversary is almost here. We got to figure out what we're doing.
It's like when you're like in a relationship for more than a year.
Yeah.
Like you just like kind of just stop doing things for your anniversary. That's kind of like what this is.
100%. Yeah. It's also like because time doesn't exist anymore and nothing's ever happening that's new. Part of me is like, yeah, it's here. Like I knew it was coming. And the other part of me is like, oh my God, already, you know?
I know. Well, it's like another month will go by and I'm just like, oh, fuck. Like,
yeah,
what? I didn't realize that we were already done with this month. And here we are again. Another month has gone by almost. And so that's where we're at in the flat circle that is time. And but yeah, to mark something to like look forward to is our 4-year anniversary. So
so fun.
Let's do it.
We'll do some
celebrate.
fun stuff. Yeah, we'll celebrate in a fun way.
We'll figure it out. It's like more and more becoming half-assed like it does in a long-term relationship.
Yeah. That's fine. We pull it together when we get excited about stuff. It's just hard when it's like, oh, we have to, it's like, it's kind of like how surprise gifts throughout the year are more fun than like getting something on your birthday.
Totally.
It's like kind of expected. And so there's like a weird pressure on it. But like if you just get a gift randomly through the year, that's the best. It's
exactly. I mean, if I was smart, I would get a random gift and save it for an occasion.
Yeah. Same.
But I don't do that.
I can't. Well, also, I can't save gifts. If I get something for someone, I'm like, I got you something.
Too excited. Yeah. Way too excited. Oh my God. Well, yeah. So that's coming up. Anything else? I don't think so.
No.
What about? Do you have anything fucked up this week?
I've watched a full season of True Blood in 4 days.
So horny. So
oh my
good.
God. It's so horny. It is way hornier than I remember. There are people in it that I didn't recognize at the time, but have done so many things since that I'm then like Lizzie Kaplan, who I know was from Mean Girls and stuff, but I didn't remember. Yeah. I didn't remember her from this show, and now she's in the show.
Crazy.
Yeah, and that's fun. And other people, just like little side characters here and there, I'm like, oh my gosh, that's like a really famous person, or
how funny,
a really famous character actor.
Because that shit's like 10 years old now.
Oh my God.
Right? More than that?
I think it started in 2006, baby.
Oh my God. Holy shit.
Yeah.
The mid-2000s? That's wild.
It's mid-2000s, yeah. Maybe 2009. But, it's like still, but that's so long ago now.
The late aughts.
The late aughts, yeah.
Yeah. That's exciting. I would love to rewatch True Blood. That's a fun one.
It's great, but I've obviously not doing anything else.
Cool. Great. Yeah. I love, like... I think we like forgot how horny shows could be. Like it's like juxtapose that with like Bridgerton. Like people think that show's like super horny, and it is.
Yeah.
But like True Blood is like fucking.
True Blood is so you're like almost seeing the brother's dick a lot. Yeah. Like it is so close to seeing it, and you don't see it, but like it's very graphic. Yeah. Also, I feel like Bridgerton, you don't expect it to be horny because it's a period piece, maybe. Yeah. And you're like, oh, no one ever fucks in these types of shows. And then they're like, oh, You thought you knew what you were
JK.
watching. Yeah. But this is almost exclusively fucking. And you're like, oh, all right.
Yeah, I need to rewatch it. And it takes so many crazy twists and turns.
God.
Like, I just remember being like, what are they doing? Like, this is
True Blood.
nuts. Yeah. Because I read the books like up until like the 5th or something book. And then the show just like any HBO adaptation just goes completely off the rails. Like the writers are like, that's cute, but we're gonna get real wild with it.
Yeah.
I need to jump back in.
Oh my God. It's so unintentionally funny too. You're like, oh, this is supposed to be like a tender moment, but it is so bad.
I don't think so. I think that movie or that show,
it was always intentional.
It's always intentional. That show is pure camp, pure ridiculousness.
Okay, that's fair.
Well, that's fun. I love that journey for you.
Thank you. What is your fucked up thing this week?
Okay, so my cats have been absolutely insane lately.
They're teenagers.
They're just like they run wild through the house at night.
Yeah.
And just like knock shit over constantly.
Oh my God.
Like I can't have fresh flowers like in a vase ever anywhere. Yeah. Like they will knock it over and spill water everywhere. So
oh my God.
Like if I do get fresh flowers, I have to like, as I'm like shutting down the house, for the night, I have to like take them and put them in the sink or something,
Yeah.
So speaking of vases, I had an empty vase on our like laundry like area on top of the like washer and dryer table thing. And there's like a big space behind the washer and dryer. And like way more room than there should be. It's really weird. And on the workspace on top of it, it's like a workbench where you can like fold clothes or whatever.
Yeah.
The cats jump up there sometimes because there's a window behind the washer and dryer, and they just, again, run wild.
Yeah.
So I had put an empty, heavy vase up there just because I was like either going to throw it away because it's ugly or throw it in the garage and just forget about it. Yet another just object fart. I don't know. Like it doesn't make any sense in our house. So I don't know. I just like I couldn't like just physically throw it in the trash can. I don't know what my problem is. So
yeah,
it's sitting there, and unbeknownst to us, the cats one night knocked it over. I knew I heard a big crash, but it was out of sight, out of mind the next morning.
Yeah. It's like where you hear that and you're like, what was that? And nothing's clearly like broken on the floor. So you're like, forget about it.
Yeah. And I was just like, it's the cats. I'll find some mess in the morning.
Yeah.
Didn't see anything, so didn't care.
Yeah.
And it had fallen behind the washer and dryer. That's why we didn't see it. And like unbeknownst to us, it had knocked the hose out of the wall of the like drainage hose for the washing machine.
Oh no.
And we didn't know. And DJ like he's like very regimented about doing laundry. Like, thank God, I hate laundry more than anything. Uh-huh. He does the laundry. He's like, that's his shit. I don't know. So he was like, had his laundry day that he was doing all the laundry, like my clothes, his clothes, Jack's clothes. And he starts doing it and walks towards the dryer to like move over a load. And he's like standing in water, and he's just like, what the fuck is going on? And he like realizes, okay, something very bad happened, but we didn't know what it was. We thought like the washing machine just broke.
Oh my God.
And so there's just water everywhere. And we had to like call a professional. It was like Super Bowl Sunday. So we like called, and like they came the next day. Yeah. And the guy came, and he's just like, it's just the hose. It just fell out because this vase knocked it. And we were just like, oh, fuck. And we felt so stupid, so dumb. But we like didn't know what we were looking at. We like couldn't see all the things. And so we like But thank God it wasn't like an actual broken washing machine. That would have been so fucking annoying. And like,
Oh my God.
if it was like actually broken and we had to replace it, because you can't like, I don't think
so
you
expensive.
can. It's like not worth it to repair certain
Models, yeah.
models if it's
Or
like something really
however
bad.
old it is.
Yeah.
Oh my
Anyway,
goodness.
so it was, thank God it was not, because it's so weird. I've like talked to 3 people in my life, like random friends who've had like had to replace washer and dryers in the past like few months.
Yeah.
So it was just like, as soon as we realized it was an issue, I was like, oh fuck, no.
Yeah. Great.
We're
gonna have to fucking replace this shit. But it's like, yeah, that's just something. Also, like dealing with that. Ours is in our bathroom, and it's like hard to get in and out. Like it like barely fits through the door.
Yeah.
It would just be such a hassle.
Oh
you
my
know?
God. Yeah,
it's like
I know.
the whole thing. You have to call someone to come pick it up because like the old company won't take it because it's trash or whatever. It's like, ugh.
I honestly don't know now that I'm like thinking about it, because this is like a washer and dryer from the people who owned the house before.
Mm-hmm.
And I honestly, now that I'm like thinking about it, I don't know how they got it into the house, because it seems really big, and the area that it's in, I don't know where. I don't know. There's a couple like ways it could have gone in, but I don't know. It seems like way too big for any opening that's near it. So
oh my God, that's wild.
yeah. Anyway, so it's stupid and dumb, but thank God it wasn't any worse. But that's like the most exciting / fucked up thing that's happened to me this week. So
yeah, it's
yeah. Anyway, well,
Truly.
should we get into our topic?
Let's do it. It's so fun. I had so much fun doing these notes.
Yeah, I did too. You guys, I'm skipping over my segue because it's also extremely boring. Because I'm bored. I was like writing this whole thing to segue, and then I was like, it's so dumb now that I'm reading it. It's so dumb.
You know what? We'll do it live.
I'm just going to call the audible, and we're going to jump right into this here episode. You guys,
Amazing.
Today we're doing the Bermuda Triangle.
I wish I had a triangle to go ding, 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 ding.
Like, get ready for dinner, y'all.
Yeah. Soup's on. Ding, 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 ding.
My dad has one of those because he's in like
triangle band.
No, my dad plays the accordion, and
oh, right.
my brother plays the triangle, and my uncle plays the fiddle. They have like a Cajun band, like a Zydeco band.
Oh,
it's really funny.
I feel like Brett should play the jug.
Oh, he has a washboard too.
Oh,
yeah, he has a washboard, and he like hits the triangle.
Yeah, are they good?
It's very fun.
Oh, okay.
They're they're trying. They're practice. It's cute.
Yeah. Okay. Cute.
Anyway, so there is a triangle out there that we could borrow if we ever need it.
Good. Yeah.
Well, anyway, about the Bermuda Triangle. That's what we're talking about today.
Mm-hmm.
It's also known as the Devil's Triangle, the Limbo of the Lost, the Twilight Zone, and the Hoodoo Sea.
Oh, I like those names.
Very fun. It's in an area that is like, I don't know, seems kind of fun.
Yeah.
Like I would want to go here.
Caribbean.
Yeah, it's in the Caribbean. It's bounded by Bermuda, Florida, and Puerto Rico. So it's like it's in a pretty like normal populated area. I thought it was like somewhere totally different when
Me too. Like in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, I thought it was
Me
like in the
too.
middle of the Atlantic Ocean, but no,
Yeah.
it's
No.
not.
It's like just part of Florida, which makes sense.
Makes so much sense.
Like shit goes wrong here, and I think that's why.
Yeah, for real. But this is an area where ships and planes are said to mysteriously vanish into thin air or the deep water.
Ooh.
I personally wish, though, that more people referred to it as the Devil's Triangle.
Mm-hmm.
Because it reminds me of stupid ass Brett Kavanaugh saying under oath while he was being in his confirmation hearing that he said the Devil's Triangle is a drinking game, which is not true. It's total bullshit. It's a threesome with 2 dudes and a lady.
Oh.
And so, but like he just tried to like make something up basically. He's a fucking idiot.
What would it even be if it was a drinking game? It's like,
He tried to say it was like quarters.
oh, but in a
Which- Yeah.
triangle?
I'm like,
It's like beer pong with only 3 cups. You make a triangle. It's like,
Yeah.
no one's playing that, sir.
Sure, Dan. I don't know.
Oh,
Stupid
God.
idiot.
Yeah. The Devil's Triangle sounds like also what you could call a taint.
Exactly. Yeah. It's like, it's definitely something sexual, like 100,000%.
Because
not,
it's like ball, butthole. And that makes a
Yeah.
triangle.
yeah, it's like a perfect, you know.
Yeah.
um,
Oh my God. That was great.
well, obviously, most reputable sources dismiss the idea that there is any mystery whatsoever.
Yeah.
And in reading about this and like looking it up, there's like a ton of information, but it's the basic gist of it is it's pretty cut and dry, and we'll tell you all about that in a minute. But yeah, so the vicinity though of where the Bermuda Triangle is like allegedly where it's supposed to be is among one of the most heavily traveled shipping lanes in the world. With ships frequently crossing through it for ports in the Americas, Europe, and the Caribbean islands. So very heavily like trafficked.
Yeah.
Also very commonly used by cruise ships and pleasure crafts. They sail through this area all the time, and commercial and private aircraft routinely fly over it. So it's just like, it's the 405. It's fucking popping.
Yeah. I also, okay, that's the second time. Earlier today I read something about a pleasure craft, and wow, when did we start calling like recreational boats that? It's genius. And I feel like I want some sort of pleasure craft.
Let's get a Duffy boat.
Yeah, no,
That's
I know
a
we've
pleasure
talked about
craft.
that. Yeah. I know. And whoever's driving has to wear a captain's hat,
Absolutely.
and you only can listen to Michael McDonald.
Yeah, only yacht rock.
Only yacht rock is allowed on there. And I want some sort of like Jetsons, like high tech. I want like a table that comes out of the floor, but like on like risers, like it's all electronic.
Oh, you're speaking DJ's language, 1,000%.
God.
Yeah.
But I want it to, when it comes up and then the middle flips up and it's a full ass charcuterie board, like already done. You know what I mean? It's like, and then it's just cheese, meats, crackers, nuts, fruits, fresh fruits, dried fruits.
Beautiful. I love
Soft
that.
cheeses, hard cheeses, medium ones.
Let's do it. I mean,
Okay.
with that kind of selling point,
Yeah.
DJ will be on board like immediately. So
Okay, good. I mean, we
Yeah.
might have to invent it first, but
yeah, totally.
yeah, I'm down.
So one of the first recorded quote unquote disappearances was the USS Cyclops.
Oh my
And
God.
this was a actual naval ship. This happened in March of 1918, and it disappeared somewhere between Barbados and the Chesapeake Bay. That is a huge swath. First of all,
It disappeared somewhere in the ocean.
like, and also that's like out of the Devil's Triangle, the Bermuda Triangle.
Well, I think, yeah, true, but I don't think they thought it got that far. It was headed for Chesapeake Bay, leaving Barbados, and it disappeared.
Sure.
And I think
Okay.
it disappeared a few days into, so like it wouldn't have gotten that far, and it was in
Sure.
the quote unquote Bermuda Triangle.
Gotcha.
And I think there's like, they have, ship records and like probably records from other boats nearby, just like pinging each other and like messaging each other on the radar, whatever. I don't know the language. But it was World War I. So there are records. There was activity in the area.
Oh.
But yeah, but this was a naval ship, but it wasn't a combat ship. It was a shipping vessel, and it was carrying 10,000 tons of manganese ore and a crew of like 300 people. And they had been in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, and they had come to Barbados and like were on their way home.
And they're bringing all this like heavy ass ore up back to the
States.
Yeah, the mid-Atlantic.
Yeah, and so because it was World War I, it was initially thought that the Germans like had maybe sunk or commandeered the ship, but it was disputed by them. They're like, no, we have no record of it. That wasn't us.
It wasn't me.
It wasn't me. I thought I saw her sink a boat. It wasn't me. I don't know. That was bad. Okay. I hate Shaggy, by the way.
I love Shaggy.
Oh, no. Okay, so the ship, they like look at the records. No distress signal is ever heard of like from this boat. No one knows like what's going on. They sent out a bunch of search parties. They found no trace of the wreckage. To this date, like there were 300 people on board. This is the largest casualty of a non-combat like event in U.S. naval history. So I mean, you know, there was a lot of people on board, a lot of product, a lot of ore on board, and so this was like a big deal. The president at the time like sent a bunch of people out. They were all like looking. So essentially, like what they think happened. The ship, this is so dumb too. It's like this, we're going to hear some stories and all of them are like very easily explained. And I don't understand how the Bermuda Triangle is even a thing. Like stop trying to make, it's like stop trying to make the Bermuda Triangle a thing. It's not a thing. Okay.
Oh, I'll get into that whole shit after we talk about some of these disappearances and stuff.
Okay. So it was the USS Cyclops. Dumb name, by the way. I
love that. Oh my god, that's so fun.
I like it as a name, but I feel like it's not a good name for a ship. Like I don't know.
It's like Odysseus, like I don't know.
But the Cyclops gets killed, right?
Yeah, that's true.
I feel like you don't want to name your boat after dead things.
True.
But boat names are very fun.
Very fun.
We know that.
We know this.
We know this. So, okay, the ship, which was carrying 10,000 tons of ore, was built to carry closer to only 8,000 tons. That's a problem.
Okay,
right there.
First of all.
They're like,
oh, no, it's fine. Just keep piling it on. It's fine.
Yeah.
It won't sink. Probably not. I don't know.
It's not like squeezing an oversized bag into the overhead bin of a plane where it like barely just shouldn't fit because you've like packed an extra sweatshirt in there, but like it's fine. You can just mush it in. It's like this is 2,000 tons of ore that are
over the capacity.
Over the capacity and 300 people. So they knew this, but they were like, oh, it's built really well, so it's fine. And then they left Rio and they're just like cruising and they're like, maybe we should stop in Barbados. We're riding kind of low. It's like, you know, when you fill your car with like a bunch of stuff from Costco and it's like it doesn't clear the speed bumps as good.
Yeah.
It was that scenario. They're like, we're riding a little low. So they stopped in Barbados and some other people looked at it and were like, yeah, but like it's fine, right? Like
you're still floating. It's cool.
Yeah, they're like, I'm looking at it. It's still a boat. It's on water. Everything seems fine. But it, to me, feels like the equivalent of like someone just being like, oh, let me take a look at the car that, you know, your car's overheating, I think. Let me take a look. And they open it, have no idea what they're looking for. And they're just like, I think it's fine.
Yeah.
And then your car explodes like an hour later.
You just throw a rod through the hood. Oh, my God. Jesus
oh, my
Christ.
God. Yeah. So, I mean, it was.
So, yeah, if they encountered any kind of like bad weather or anything, it would be dunzo. Like,
oh, yeah. Just a couple big waves. They're already too low. It like sitting in the water. You're sunk. Battleship sunk.
Yeah.
Oh, God. And I think for me, like, yeah, maybe people are still like, oh, but something paranormal could have happened. And it's like, yeah, maybe until you look at the facts that the sister ships of the Cyclops, which were called the Proteus and the Nereus, both of those also vanished during wartime, later during World War II. But they were also both thought to maybe have sunk or been commandeered. Here's the thing. The Nereus was also carrying ore at the time. and probably carrying too much, and had a very similar situation to the Cyclops.
Oh, so this is like a year later, or a
war later,
a whole ass war later, and they were like,
yep.
You know what we should do again?
Yeah.
Let's just like add some more ore to this. It's fine.
Well, throw it on top.
What about the Cyclops? Remember that saying? Because we probably put too much shit in it.
So like that
no. That was World War I. We didn't. Come on. This is World War II. Like way more advanced.
Yeah. No, the devil sunk the Cyclops.
That's right.
In the triangle. So,
that's right.
Yeah. So it's so silly. So, and then the Proteus had just been retired before it sank. I don't know. I don't think it was carrying any like significant size of like ore or anything.
I bet you it was.
It probably was. You're right. No, it for sure. Like it's a sister ship. That's the kind of like routes it takes. Excuse me. And like, yeah, it probably did. They both, and also the sister ships both sunk in the Bermuda Triangle area during November and December of 1941, respectively.
Interesting. Well,
yeah.
Those are, I mean, there's still hurricanes happening that time of year. So
yeah, weather's shitty during that time of year.
Yeah, it's not great.
No.
Yeah, so that's like pretty big though. Like, and it happened to all the sister ships. So that's like, people are like, whoa, it's so weird. And it's like, well, it's really not if you just like look and see that they abused the fucking weight limits of these ships.
Yeah. It's like these ships are the like Amanda Butts of okay. You know that movie It Takes Two?
No.
These
but
ships,
I do, but I don't.
Oh, okay. It's an Olsen Twins movie.
Of course.
And with Kirstie Alley and Steve Guttenberg.
Oh, amazing.
And
that was my water I just opened. Sorry.
Mm-hmm, it was a fart. She's lying.
Can
Unless
you
you're
imagine?
watching the video, then it is a water. Yeah, edit that out. We've never had to edit a fart out to this day. Knock on wood.
We're saving it for the anniversary episode.
The anniversary episode is just a super cut of all the farts we've had to edit out.
We've had to edit out so many burps, but nary a fart.
Yeah, and we don't even edit them all out. I've had a couple in there. I'm drinking a beer. P.S. This is a very good beer. It's from a brewery called Crown and Hops. It's I think it's in Inglewood. Black owned and operated.
Ooh.
It's called Beat Messenger Pilsner. It's so good.
I love a
Crafted
good
for
Pilsner.
change. Yeah.
Love that. Cool.
It's amazing. Yeah, you'll have to get some. It's so good.
Absolutely.
I always wear this shirt that was from the Sierra Nevada Beer Fest, and I think the last one we went to, was it the Beer Fest or maybe it was the Taste Good Festival? I can't remember, but there was like a beer tent, and the guy who started this brewery was there talking about how he was starting it, and now it exists. It's so fun.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
what a
really
fun
cool.
What a fun story.
Fun little story. So check out the beer. It's very good.
I will.
Back to farts or burps. What were we talking about?
Back to disappearances of our farts.
Yeah,
no, I'm just kidding. Back to the Bermuda Triangle.
Yeah. Which is a type of fart. That's when you crop dust someone in a triangle.
No, that's when you leave a party and you just disappear, but you fart before you leave. And you don't stick around for the aftermath. You just assume everybody like died. I don't know.
Wait, so it's still, so you're crop dusting, but you're not returning. Like that's like, it's like, yeah, you're like,
you go into the Bermuda Triangle basically. Like
you disappear, but you like leave a fart at the party.
Yeah. I don't know.
Oh my God. What?
I was gonna say, or it could be like a fart where you like think it's gonna smell, but it just doesn't. It like the smell like disappeared into the Bermuda Triangle, like it like another dimension like sucked it up or something, and you're like, oh,
that's good.
Okay.
Like it's like when the timeline splits and somehow the stench of the fart. It's like when you smell something, you know, like you walk into a room, you're like, ew, what smells? Did someone just fart here? It's like that's the alternate timeline where the
Yeah.
fart sound and the fart smell got split up
Oh,
into two.
yes.
They're in two timelines, and
That's
it's
the
a
fart
rift.
time continuum. Yeah.
Also known as the Devil's Triangle, also
Yes.
known as the Bermuda Triangle.
That's right.
Wait, what are the other names?
The limbo of the lost
Ooh.
and the Twilight Zone and the Hoodoo Sea.
Oh.
The poo-poo sea. I'm 5.
The Limbo of the Lost also seems like could also be a fart that makes a sound and doesn't smell.
Yeah, 100%.
Oh my god. Oh my god. I'm
farts,
5'2".
man.
I know, they're so funny.
Well, there's some more disappearances that happened that weren't farts. The Carol A. Deering was a commercial sailing vessel that also was running from Rio de Janeiro, like the same route as the Cyclops.
Yeah.
And in January of 1921 had made a successful coal delivery to Rio. And then the crew was turning around to set sail for home, which was Newport News. So they were taking that same shipping route.
Wasn't that a fashion catalog?
Newport News?
Yeah. Do you remember that?
I think so. Wasn't it a movie? I think it was a movie.
I thought maybe it's the Newport something else, but I thought it was a catalog my mom would buy like khaki shorts from.
I'm sure. It's I feel like Newport News is the most 90s sounding thing to me.
Yeah, it was. It was.
know?
And I would steal some of her shirts sometimes. They were cute. They were like deep V-necks before.
That was cool. Yeah.
Yeah, that was cool. Oh my gosh. Okay, real quick about this Carol A. Deering. There was like some fun. It's kind of fun. I don't know. Okay, so they were heading home and they stopped in Barbados because they wanted to party. Also, I think the boats just stopped there, probably to refuel.
Yeah.
This is a sailboat, I think, but like still, it's like they're like need to eat, get provisions, maybe like
Yeah.
whatever.
It was a commercial sailing ship.
Yeah.
But they have to, and it's like, well, let's just stop in the Caribbean where it's fucking cool.
Yeah, it's like all the stuff they want to just get drinks too. It's like all the stuff that's happening in the song Brandy, you know?
Yeah, their job's done. So
Their job's done.
Like they're ready to unwind. Yes.
Mm-hmm, they have money. So they go, this is unrelated to like what will happen soon, but the first mate of the Deering got like super fucked up in town and was complaining
In Barbados.
In Barbados, yeah. They're like on a layover. He was like super fucked up and was complaining to other ship captains like, my captain fucking sucks, dude.
You want to hire me?
Yeah, he's like, I know so much and I just like have to, and my captain's such an idiot. And like, that fucking guy, it's like, I'm just like way smarter than him and I like don't have that much experience, but like he's incompetent, whatever, just like being an asshole. And was threatening. He was like pissed because he had to like read maps for the old man because he couldn't see very well. And like also he was like essentially threatening to kind of take him out. He's like, when it's, you know, when I get the chance, he's out of here or something. Yeah, it was like fucked up. And so he was drunk and everybody narked on him and he got arrested that night. And then
Throw him in the brig.
Yeah. Oh man. And the captain had to come save him and was like super nice. And like came and posted his bail.
Oh man.
Yeah. But then they were never to be seen again because it didn't matter. Honestly, he would have been better off had the captain left him there because on January 31st, the ship was found abandoned. What year is this? 1921. Okay.
Uh-huh.
January 31st, 1921. The ship was found abandoned by the Coast Guard, grounded on the Diamond Shoals, which is like a name for an area right off the coast of Cape Hatteras that is known also as the graveyard of the Atlantic because it's just a bunch of like sandbars that if you don't navigate them properly, you get stuck on them and then you get all fucked up. So they found this ship. No one was aboard. But also everyone's personal possessions were gone and the ship's 2 lifeboats were missing. So like it had been abandoned.
Yeah. They probably got stuck and
yeah.
couldn't.
They probably got stuck and tried to get out. I think people don't really know exactly what happened, but there is a lot of speculation. Several of the theories are that there was either a hurricane, which would explain the boat being stuck, but I feel like it wouldn't explain people getting into lifeboats and trying to leave the boat. Like, you wouldn't leave in a hurricane, I feel like.
No, I feel like you would get stuck and then try to leave the boat, and then they could have gotten like set adrift somehow. I don't know.
Yeah. Also, like, if it was that scary and stormy, they probably wouldn't have had time to like grab all their stuff. So like that was what's weird. Then another theory was like piracy, like pirates or rum runners saw them stuck and like made them leave the ship onto their ship to like make them work for them or whatever, some piratey thing. Yeah. And there's also like a theory, maybe it was Russian pirates. We don't know. Another separate theory is mutiny. So like the shit talking first mate somehow like took everyone over and like made them get into little boats.
Mutiny on the Carol.
Oh my God. Mutiny on the Diamond Shoals.
Ooh.
That sounds like a soap opera.
For sure. Ooh, I love that.
it. Oh my God. Also, great Southern drag queen name.
Diamond Shoals.
Diamond Shoals.
I love
like
that.
Muscle Shoals, the recording recording studio. Yeah,
Love
but
that.
you're Diamond Shoals.
I love it.
I don't know what a shoal is. I'll need to look that up. I think it's like a sea thing. An ocean
Sandbar?
thing. And maybe it must be a sandbar.
Yeah.
That makes sense. And then the last kind of theory is paranormal. It's the Bermuda Triangle, and that's why,
And they just are gone.
Yeah. They're just like, oh, well, it was a Bermuda Triangle. You expect anyone to survive here? But experts think it's likely that the boat got stuck. They sent up some sort of flare, and then there was a nearby ship, the SS Hewitt, that they know was like in the area around the same time through like radio activity and stuff like that, and ship logs or whatever.
Right.
And so they saw the call for help or heard a call from help, went over. Everybody used the boat, the little boats, the lifeboats to get to that ship.
Right.
And then that ship, as luck would have it, disappeared.
Probably in a storm.
Probably in a storm. Yeah, with a full crew on it. So,
damn. So it's
yeah.
like they were fucked from the beginning. That guy should have stayed in jail.
He should have stayed in jail. He should have stayed in Barbados. He should have just kept drinking rum and hanging out.
Yeah.
Getting sunshine. And stop talking shit. You know,
Yeah.
You don't need to do that, sir.
Well, he won't anymore.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy.
I know.
Well, if that really did happen, but who's to say?
Yeah. Who's to say?
Flight 19 was another disappearance that happened in the Bermuda Triangle. It was 5 torpedo bombers that were on a training mission from Fort Lauderdale, which disappeared in December of 1945. And then a seaplane on a rescue mission looking for the 5 bombers also disappeared.
Mm-hmm.
There's really not any idea what happened to the 5 bombers. There was no real confirmed wreckage. But like other plane parts were found in the area that they thought they went down, but it wasn't matching up with those planes. Just some other planes that crashed.
Yeah, and over time too. It's like,
Yeah.
you know, a lot of these
And the way
things,
like things like the current takes things and
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah.
a lot of these wreckages and like accidents, people still look for them because
yeah.
like if it's a big, huge, USS Cyclops, eventually you would find some remnants of it. I think that's what keeps partly the like mystery alive about it, because it's just people haven't found parts of any of these things. But
Right.
yeah, no one found any of that.
Yeah. And then I guess there was a theory though about what happened to the rescue plane. People think it actually exploded midair because the specific model that it is the Martin PBM Mariner flying boat. It was known to accumulate like flammable gas vapors. So if it it would just like surround the engine, as it was flying. And if it got like overheated or something sparked, whatever, anything like electrical, it would just literally explode in the air. So
yeah, it's just hot enough. However that works. It's just like, these planes were known to explode midair.
Basically, yeah. So they were like,
Yikes.
oh, we can explain that. But the other five, I mean, 5 bombers just like disappearing is pretty intense.
It's weird because they were just all on a training mission, like from Fort Lauderdale, flying together. Like it was a flight of naval planes, which is like a flight is just like a collection.
Yeah, yeah.
And they're just all together. So it's weird that all of them would disappear and none of them would make it back.
Yeah,
that is weird.
It is weird, but like shit happens when you're out over sea, like open sea, and like you hit really bad weather or like fog or anything that can disorient you.
Yeah, because you're all kind of listening to each other too. So like,
yeah, and like your inner ear doesn't adjust to elevation changes in the way that we think it would if your visibility is affected. So
oh, I know, because I have vertigo and I rely on my visibility to like keep balance and shit because my ear's so fucked up.
Yeah. And that's I mean that's what has caused so many plane crashes. That's how JFK Jr. died. That's how the pilot that was flying Kobe Bryant's helicopter crashed. So it's extremely common if visibility is affected and you're like your instruments are not working properly, or you're just, you know, whatever. That's how a lot of people crash.
Bad. Yeah.
So, and that could happen to a bunch of people at once if they're flying like all the same route and they both lose altitude at the same time in the same way. So that's my guess. But still nobody really knows for sure. Anyway, the next disappearance was the Star Tiger and the Star Ariel, which were pressurized commercial planes that were owned and operated by the British South American Airways. Both planes disappeared January 1948 and January 1949 respectively. So
a lot of January shit.
Yeah, December and January. I think the weather is just like not great during this time of year.
Yeah.
There was no so both the planes disappeared without any trace or just no distress call, and no debris or anything to identify where and when they went down. So yeah. And there's like, this is like, you know, again, I'm just gonna say this is a very commonly traveled area of this part between, you know, like the United States, South America, the Caribbean. This is like all very active. So probability that shit happens in this area is high.
There was like, there's so many incidents of things happening in that area. There was another plane, a Douglas DC-3 that disappeared in December of 1948. There was a Connemara 4 that disappeared in September of 1955. I think that was a boat. It was suspected that was because of Hurricane Ione. And then it was like right at the same time, date wise and stuff. And then there was also 2 planes. They were KC-135 Stratotankers in August of 1963. These planes actually are assumed, well, it's not assumed. I think through communication and all that stuff, they were able to know that these 2 planes collided midair.
Oh, whoa.
Yeah. And so initially it was like, oh no, like what's this mystery that happened? Like they collided and now we can't, like, we'll never know like what exactly happened. I don't know if they think that the collision was paranormal, but the reason that people were like, this is weird, is because they went out looking for the crash site, and like you were saying earlier, the tide and stuff, you know, can like move debris, and also just as it's falling from the sky, like based on the wind or whatever, like, you know, it just like could fall weird. And so there were reports of a separate crash site for one of the planes that was separated by 160 miles or 260 kilometers from the first site. But then as they looked into it, like people were writing like, oh my gosh, this is fucking weird. There's a second crash site. It's like, it's almost 200 miles away from the first one, and like how did it get that far, and isn't the Bermuda Triangle spooky? And then people did more investigating, and they're like, that's not a crash site, that's a huge clump of seaweed.
Oh my God.
So like maybe do your research before you write articles about the second crash site, because that is fucking probably some garbage. It's like a garbage island with seaweed.
Yeah, I mean, this is the thing. So all these disappearances happening in the early part of the century up until like the 60s, like people are like starting to like be like, what's going on? Not taking into account anything
Weather
or the probability being high of incidents because it's a highly trafficked area.
Volume.
But
yeah. Or like overloading boats. People aren't thinking about that could be an issue.
Yeah, just,
Yeah.
But nonetheless, this whole idea of the Bermuda Triangle gets extremely popular. As we all know, we've heard about it in pop culture forever.
Yeah.
And I just always assumed it was a thing that was, known for centuries or whatever. And maybe it is, but it only started getting really popular as an idea in the like 50s, really, is when it started to kind of take off as an idea. So one of the main reasons the idea of the Bermuda Triangle is so mysterious and as popular as it is now is because a couple of dudes wanted to make up some dumb shit and write about it and make money.
That checks out.
There's no other reason than some dude saw an opening to write about a thing that was mildly interesting, and they built an entire fictional premise on an area of the ocean. Like they were like, look at this ocean, this part of the ocean. Really weird.
Does that look like a triangle to you?
It's like so weird. It's a triangle.
Oh my God. I bet people would think it's haunted.
Yeah. So it all kind of started as like a pop culture thing in 1952 when Fate magazine that's a really cool name for a magazine, by the way.
I feel like if it existed today, it would be very cool, but like I feel like it would be very like alternative and like 80s slasher film style like illustrations and shit.
I'm talking about a zine for astrology.
Oh.
For crystal hotties, like for that's what I'm gonna bring it back. That's my new project.
And like everyone, like all the models have like Billie Eilish hair.
Yep.
Like weird colors.
Love it.
But like partly a normal color and partly a weird color.
I'm doing it. I'm starting a zine, guys.
Do it. Fate.
Called Fate. Yeah.
Yeah.
So this magazine, though, in 1952, published a story called Sea Mystery at Our Back Door, which was a short article by George Sand covering the loss of several planes and ships, including the loss of Flight 19, which we just talked about with the multiple bombers that disappeared. And Sand's article was the first to lay out the like now familiar triangular area where the losses took place, as well as being the first to suggest a supernatural element to the Flight 19 incident. I'm just like picturing him in his editor's office being like, pitching ideas about the ocean and like ships and planes and like crashing and disappearing, whatever. And the editor's like, dude, this shit's boring. Nobody's going to read this. Can you just like write something about how women in bikinis are like evil and a threat to the American way of life? And George Sand was like, wait, hold on. I got it. What if we talk about this plane crash shit that happened several years ago, but like, what if I make it spooky? What if I just say like a chunk of the ocean is weird and haunted-ish?
Yeah.
It'll sell.
Oh my God. Like hotcakes.
And so the son of a bitch did it. He made part of the ocean creepy.
Oh my God. George Sand, way to go.
Yeah. He did it.
Oh my God. I feel like, first of all, if your name's George Sand.
I feel like it's like, isn't that from the Brady Bunch? George Glass.
That's George Glass.
Yeah. But he's like he's the Miami version of George Glass. He's George Sand.
He's the Tommy Bahama version.
Yeah. He's the beach version. Yeah.
He's he's like how there's Beach Barbie and Beach Ken.
Yeah.
He's Beach George Sand.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Also, I feel like Yeah. Oh. I don't know. It's just I'm just like having a memory because like I had heard of the Bermuda Triangle when I was like a kid and stuff, and it always sounds so scary.
Yeah.
And I thought it was like a vortex.
Yeah.
I thought it was like a literal whirlpool that like you had to avoid.
Yeah.
Because it was always like
sucking
you can't go to the
in.
Bermuda Triangle. Yeah. Like things go in and never come out. And I was like, oh my God. And in my mind's eye, I always thought it was like a literal whirlpool that you just disappeared into. But nope, it's just regular ocean.
I'm sure we saw some cartoons or something that like characterize the Bermuda Triangle that way.
For sure.
I like put the Bermuda Triangle on par with quicksand. Like it
sucks you in.
It sucks you in, and it's like quicksand's like I think it's real.
It is, yeah.
But it's like not everywhere like I thought it would be, And the Bermuda Triangle is not real. It's just the ocean is vast.
Oh, okay. Okay, yeah.
But I don't know. It's like all mysterious, and like I think that was like the kind of like cartoons we were watching. So it's like either like Tailspin, like. Yeah. Where they were disappearing into the fucking
Looney Tunes even.
Yeah, Looney Tunes, like they're disappearing into the Bermuda Triangle or getting fucked up by some quicksand. So
Yeah. I know a person that almost died in quicksand as a kid. Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
That's terrifying.
I know. And the reason I found out is because the day she started as our new HR person at the office, it was in an email to everyone. It was like a fun fact about me. It's like, I almost died when I was 8 years old in a quicksand pit. And I was like, I immediately went over and introduced myself and was like, hi, I'm Nicole. Can I hear more about this?
The quicksand incident?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Is this real? Is this quicksand thing
real? That's
real?
traumatic.
I know. God. I mean, she was fine talking about it, but she's a very cool lady.
Oh, amazing. I mean, not amazing, but fuck.
I know. She survived. I think it's okay.
Okay, well, good.
She put it in an email to a whole office of strangers. It's like, you're willing to talk about it.
Yeah.
I didn't feel weird asking about it.
Okay, fair. Well, going on with the Bermuda Triangle, like people started to build off of it. Eventually, the George Sand Castle was happening. In February of 1964, a man named Vincent Gaddis wrote an article called "The Deadly Bermuda Triangle" in the pulp magazine called Argosy. Another cool name for a fucking magazine.
Yep.
He was like building on this like narrative that Flight 19 and other disappearances were part of a pattern of strange events in the region. And he just went through the alleged disappearances in the area, and they literally have like, I don't know, like we just went through all of these, and they don't have, there's nothing that mysterious about these things, but he really built on this narrative. And then the following year in 1965, Gaddis expanded his article into a book called Invisible Horizons. Cool. And then other writers saw this fun new trend that Gaddis started and were like, let's write fanfic about the Atlantic Ocean also.
Yeah. Oh, fun. Yeah, now it's like picking up steam. It's a thing. It's a niche.
It's a niche. Yeah, it's like a fun little thing. So, for example, a man named John Wallace Spencer wrote a book in 1969 called Limbo of the Lost. I think that's where we get their nickname for the Bermuda Triangle. And then
also the name of the popular show Land of the Lost.
Oh, yes. I think Limbo of the Lost is like where everybody's just like at a wedding, and it's like the entire table of people who like hate being at this wedding or just like doing the limbo. I don't know.
Or Limbo of the Lost is like, it's like when you're in purgatory, but it's like a very specific ring of purgatory where you always have to go to the bathroom, but you can't find it.
Yes.
Like you're like, oh,
like you're the meme of the weekend running through the hall of mirrors. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. And you're like, and every once in a while there's like a fancy waiter or something, and you don't recognize him, but he's always the same one.
You could check out anytime you want, but you can never leave. And
then you piss and shit yourself in front of your third grade crush, and that's how.
That is
you
how.
You never make it.
It's just, and it happens every hour of the day. Yep.
But they keep telling you it's just ahead, turn right, and then it's an immediate left.
Cool.
Yeah.
That is very specific. Another guy named Charles Burlitz wrote The Bermuda Triangle. that came out in 1974. This guy really went off. I'll talk a little bit more about him in a bit.
Oh.
A guy named Richard Winner wrote The Devil's Triangle. I think that's where we get that from, in 1974. And there were many other books by all kinds of bus driver oceanographers that came along. And they all like were keeping to some of the same supernatural elements that were outlined by a guy named the original guy who, like one of the original guys, the Alan Eckert guy who wrote the American Legion
magazine
thing. One. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Finally, though, after all these these dudes coming out writing all these books, finally a real hero came along and was like, listen up, all you fives, a 10 is speaking. Let me tell you what the actual truth is. This man, Larry Kush, was the author of the Bermuda Triangle mystery solved.
Wow, the confidence.
You think it's going to be something, but it's really something else. He wrote this in 1975, and he argued that many of the claims that Gaddis and all the other fives were writing were exaggerated, dubious, or unverifiable.
Good for him.
Yeah.
He came in and he was like, look, all of this is bullshit. He goes, Bermuda Triangle solved. And then the book is just one sentence, and it's like natural disappearances from boats sinking and planes crashing.
Yeah, he was like, he really like leaned into actual facts. He said, this is all some bullshit, and let me tell you how and why. Larry went out here and he researched a ton of shit, and it revealed a number of inaccuracies and inconsistencies between Burlitz accounts and statements from eyewitnesses, participants, and others involved in the initial incident. So Burlitz was out here writing a fucking just entire books of shit, like just complete bullshit.
Oh my God.
I think he was one of the worst like perpetrators of just like making up all this like supernatural narrative.
And Larry was like, look, it's called fan fiction for a reason.
Yeah, he came after him, and one of the funniest corrections, in my personal opinion, that he made with Burlitz is and just like saying like, this man is lying, basically.
Yeah.
So Burlitz had written about an ore carrier, probably one of the sister ships that had sunk,
the Cyclops or whatever.
Yeah, one of them maybe, or it could have been another random disappearance. So he had written about an ore carrier, which he said was lost without a trace 3 days out of an Atlantic port, when it had been lost, like actually was not at all from an Atlantic port. It had been lost 3 days out of a port with the same name in the Pacific Ocean.
Oh, God.
So he got the oceans wrong.
Oh, my God.
So it wasn't even in the same place at all. Geographically, was on the other side of entire continents. So Larry let everybody know like how dumb this motherfucker was. And it wasn't even hard for Larry to figure all this shit was wrong or made up, because he would simply find newspaper reports from the times of all these mysterious disappearances, read the available info, and find reports on possible relevant events that were unusual at the time, like weather, or just like things that were going on with the boats or whatever was, he was researching.
Yep.
That were never mentioned in the disappearance stories. Just like, a journalist would.
Facts. Research.
And so Larry ultimately concluded in his book that the number of ships and aircraft reported missing in the area was not significantly greater, proportionally speaking, than in any other part of the ocean. Like I said, this area is amongst the most heavily traveled. Like the shipping lanes are popping all the time. Cruise ships, pleasure crafts, aircraft, always in the area. So it's a very busy part of the ocean as far as oceans go.
Yeah.
And then it's also in an area frequented by tropical cyclones. The number of disappearances that did occur, for the most part, were neither disproportionate, unlikely, nor mysterious. Storms take fucking ships out all the time. They crash planes. It's not mysterious at all.
Yeah. Mother Nature. She'll get you.
Yeah. And furthermore, he's going to go ahead and shit more on Burlitz. Burlitz and the other writers would often fail to mention such storms or even represent the disappearances as having happened in calm conditions. Like they would say, oh, nothing was amiss. It was a perfect summer day. And it's like, sir, this happened in February and there was a fucking cyclone. Okay.
Yeah.
There's a fucking hurricane.
Yeah. Hurricane Ione or whatever. It's like that was the exact 4 days that the boat went missing.
Yeah. It was just like they would just like totally misrepresent all of these things. And so Larry went out here and was just like, this is so sloppy. You guys are, saying just not even facts. And so yeah, he would show all the meteorological conditions that clearly were the facts, and people were like, oh, okay. Also, some disappearances that were in these books that these men were writing never even happened. One plane crash that was said to have taken place in 1937 off of Daytona Beach, Florida, in front of hundreds of witnesses. Larry checked that out and looked at the local papers. Nothing like that had ever happened.
Oh,
it was just totally made up.
Who were they talking to? Just like the weathered band at the end of the bar in like Fort Lauderdale or whatever? Like,
honestly, who's to say? Like, it was all just like some of it was just like made up, or maybe they like had a loose idea of something that had happened, or they got their dates mixed up and didn't bother to like delve any deeper. And they're just like, I need an extra paragraph about more planes disappearing in this time period. Let's fill it out. Nobody will know.
Meanwhile,
honestly,
Larry comes in and just tanks their sales on Amazon self-publishing. He's like, no, you will not.
Absolutely not. Yeah, and there's tons and tons of people out here that are debunking this shit all the time.
Yeah.
One of my favorite debunkers is the Coast Guard, like the actual,
U.S. Coast Guard.
U.S. Coast Guard. They hate this shit. They're like, please stop. Please stop.
They're like, we're here all the time.
They collect and publish through their inquiries into, because they will look into shit. If something weird's happening, they'll look into it.
Yeah.
But they have so much documentation contradicting many of the incidents written about by these Bermuda Triangle authors. For example, one of the biggest like rebukes of these fuckers that the Coast Guard has done, there was an incident written about where they just like said all this shit about a 1972 explosion and sinking of the tanker VA Fog. The Coast Guard photographed the wreck, recovered several bodies, and like had all this evidence of, here's the ship, here was the accident, here's all of it. But then one of these like dumbass authors, one of these bus driver fucking science people, they wrote in their book that all the bodies had vanished except the captain, who was found sitting in his cabin at his desk, clutching a coffee cup. And also the VA Fog sank off the coast of Texas. The Coast Guard was like, it wasn't anywhere near the Bermuda Triangle. It's off Texas. So nowhere near the like boundaries of like the accepted boundaries of the Bermuda Triangle. So yeah.
Oh my God. But then these authors were like, well, we've re-angled the triangle. So now instead of being a isosceles triangle, it's the longer kind. Because the angles they're not perfect right angles.
During this time of year, the currents are different. So the triangle actually stretches out into a rhombus, you see. The devil's rhombus is what we now commonly call it.
The devil's rhombus. Oh my God. I love it.
These motherfuckers are really out here writing books though, with just made up shit. And there's like I said, there's tons and tons of people that like have debunked all this shit, including the Coast Guard.
Oh my God. Thank God for Larry
Larry was
the
out
Lord's
here
work.
I was just gonna say he was really out here doing the Lord's work, just really shitting on these assholes.
And like, thank you for doing the research and being like, no, this is not accurate.
This man did not stand for alternative facts. I wonder if he's still alive now and if he is really angry about how
everything
things are now.
Yeah, I know. All the fake news. I know. Mm-hmm. Oh my God.
Yeah. And that's like really, there's lots of stuff out there, lots of like ancillary content about, Bermuda Triangle adjacent things, which we could probably do a Patreon episode on, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, this is pretty much it.
Yeah. Yeah. It's I think once I was like digging into some of the incidents,
Mm-hmm.
again, oh, excuse me. Oh my God, so burpy. But not farty that you know of. Edit that out. No.
Bermuda Shorts Triangle, am I right?
Bermuda Sharks Triangle. Yeah, when I was like looking into this, I was like, all of these incidents seem perfectly reasonable. There's no, it's like with something like this, I was expecting it to be like, and then a man returned, like kind of like Twilight Zone-y, where it's like, and then 40 years later, a man walked into his front door and was like, honey, I'm home. And she was like, I haven't seen you in 40 years. Or,
and he hadn't aged a day.
Yeah.
And she was now 80 years old. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like,
I was like, oh, that'll be fun. And then it was like, no, these are just ships crashing and sinking. And
I mean, and this happens all the time still. Like we've had plane crashes that have crashed in the ocean that we just like cannot find any evidence of, where it crashed. There's no debris because the ocean is vast.
And
it
deep.
Is so deep. It's like, it is so fucking massive. Like that is honestly one of my biggest fears. One of my biggest existential fears is flying over like the Pacific Ocean or the Atlantic Ocean over the middle of it and crashing, and then nobody could ever find us again. Like, Castaway, but we're all dead. Right.
Well, I know that's the only thing that like keeps me sane when I'm flying is like, oh, if we crashed into the ocean, we'd die at least. Like that's how I always feel about it. But yeah, it is scary. The ocean's scary. I feel very calmed by the ocean.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like. It is very scary though. I'm scared of drowning though. That is very scary. But mostly I just like the ocean, and I like that it's such like an unexplored part of the earth, and it's pretty cool.
I mean, that shit's scary to me. Like, it doesn't calm me the way that the infinite vacuum of space does.
Oh,
like
God.
that calms me.
No,
the fact that the ocean exists, like here, like we can, there's ways for us to get lost in it. Like that really scares me.
Interesting.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
I mean,
space, I'm never going to fucking space.
No, I'm never going to space. I feel like I'm always the most comforted by the ocean when I just have access to it, but I'm like on land. Because also I'm not a boat person because I have ear issues. So like I'm very seasick when I'm out in the ocean. So it's just not a fun time for me. But I like being on the beach and looking out and seeing nothing but ocean.
That's fine. That's fine.
Yeah, that's relaxing. But I don't want to be out in the ocean. Yeah, and I don't like flying over the ocean. But again, I do think, well, if something happens, it's going to kill me. So that's good. Flying is scary.
It is scary. Yeah.
I don't love it.
I don't know that but after all that, I don't know that I'd want to fly through the Bermuda Triangle. Although maybe I would. let me at it. I would go anywhere at this point in time. I would love to travel anywhere.
That's fair.
Fly me through the Bermuda Triangle.
Fly me to the moon.
That might be where you end up if you fly into the Bermuda Triangle.
True. Ooh,
that's the thing.
Fun.
I'm like, meteor fucking Bermuda Triangle. Let's go. Let's do this. Let's do something fun. I'm tired of talking about my fucking washing machine. Okay.
Shut up, Larry. All right. We're going to the Bermuda Triangle.
Just give me this, please, Larry.
Oh my God. Yeah, I think it all is very explainable, and also I think it's just like a lot of the incidents that were happening during World War I and World War II, just like coincidentally, for whatever reason, maybe other countries were involved. Who knows? But like. It was just an awful time, and I feel like people needed something to like help explain,
Yeah, definitely.
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, when loss of life happens and there's no good explanation for it.
Yeah.
And it's just this kind of, hanging cliffhanger of like what actually happened. It's like, well,
Yeah.
we know what actually happened. Like,
Yeah.
they crashed and we just can't find.
No, but what happened?
Yeah. And that's the thing.
What
People
really
want,
happened. Yeah.
it's human nature to want to like have an explanation and closure and
Yeah.
some sort of just finality in that
Yeah.
loss of life, so because that's the
Yeah.
thing you have to remember. The people, these disappearances all were people. It wasn't just like a ship with nobody on it. It
There's
was
people.
or like freight planes. It was,
There's still people on those.
yeah. So
Yeah.
it's all sad, and that's the thing. I think that's
It's
what makes people just want to kind of grasp onto these ideas.
Yeah. Yeah.
So anyway,
Well-
that's all I got.
Yeah. I'm not flying anywhere anytime soon.
No. So the Bermuda Triangle is probably like super boring right now.
Yeah. It's
There's
like
it's like we're
it's just like pointy. And
the
like,
vortex is like, I'm hungry. I
Yeah.
need.
it needs to feed.
Yeah.
But you know what? And you know what? Maybe after all this is done, Tommy Bahama will send all the shorts and shirts down there and feed it. But right now we can't. It's not safe.
Yeah. Sorry, Devil's Triangle. We're all just holding on for dear life here.
Sorry. It tain't your day today. I'm sorry.
Oh, well, that's it.
Yeah, that's it. Follow us on social medias.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Follow us on like Instagram, Twitter, TikTok. We're at DTFU Podcast, all the places.
Everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, you make TikToks for us now?
Yeah, we've been ticking and talking.
Yeah.
And those are fun. And we also, you can, if you are not aware, you can watch videos of these episodes on YouTube.
Oh, yes. You can see our faces and see what we look like, what our voices, what faces match our voices.
Oh my gosh. First, though, if you haven't looked yet and you don't know what we look like, first, send
Sketch
us
it
an
out.
email.
Yeah.
Yeah, sketch it out.
Just kidding.
I was going to say, send us an email telling us what you think we look like and then go see and then see if you're right. But like, we get to have the email where you tell us what we think. Like, from the sound of my voice, do you think I have, like, what color do you think my hair is?
Like, get a guess who.
Yes.
And pull out the card that you think
Yes.
most resembles us.
Am I
or something.
zitty? Like, am I zitty? Do I have those like tiny baby bangs? You know, like really short black baby bangs. Do you think I have, like, what kind of nose do I have? You know, like, I want to know, what does Erin look like? Does Erin have curly hair? Is she a glasses wearer? Does she have adult braces? These are the questions that I want to know what you think the answer is.
Oh my God. Oh man. Well, yeah, let us know if you haven't seen our faces yet, if you've lived in I don't know. Yeah. We'll let you know.
Well, yeah.
I don't
You
know.
can find out.
It's fun. We'll tell you.
Yeah.
All right. Well, there's nothing else to do except say go to our website, dtfupodcast.com, and also hey, be excellent to yourselves
And each other.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Oh my God. That was precious.
Okay, bye.
Okay, bye.